Do you think weird people think they are weird? I don't think so. I think a weird person just is, to them it's normal. That's the way life should be. But then there's also there's also put on people, I'm so weird. I'm so that you're not weird. You're just looking for attention. And I love attention, if that's what you're asking.
Put your hands together for my friend, Mr. Doug Mutai!
Yeah! What's up? How are you guys doing? You know, when you're single, I used to think I love the freedom, you know? I can fuck whoever I want, whenever the fuck I want. But I didn't realize they have to want to fuck you back.
When and where comedy began, it's a very complex question. Because now, comedy is also part of who I am. So it's a bit difficult to quantify it because I don't know when I started. But I was in class 6. I was not a very sporty guy. I was just talking, making people laugh. It was like a DNA thing that just kicked in and I just became that. Even though I know when I was a child, I used to imitate preachers. Like visitors would come home, I'd perform. I remember being told about that very clearly. And I remember the times that I stopped because I was like, why are you not preaching to us anymore? And I was like, what are you talking about? I don't remember that part of my life. I started doing visual art. Even though I started when I was young, I also used to draw when I was really young. But then I did it by high school. It was like a passion. I thought I was going to be a visual artist. That was what my career was going to be. Then I went to Canada. All that went through the window. Even the music went through the window, even the acting. But I discovered comedy. And comedy, there was a lot that I could be self-contained about. Like, it was like I could comment about this instant right now and figure it out. So there was that. And then Canada is actually, obviously, where I also career kind of took shape.
So yeah, my name is Doug Mutai, like you've heard, and I was born and brought up in Kenya, but I now live in Canada, so I consider myself a Canadian. Yeah, I guess what I'm really trying to say is that I live on the northeastern part of this city, and I ran here for 10 miles, so you better enjoy this show.
It was my way of going back to my roots of who I should be, is doing something in that realm. Like, everything else I'm doing is what people have told me to do. But performing is what everyone has always known me I'm doing. So I start doing that. Start doing comedy, and it's going really well. By the time I'm graduating, I'm actually I'm getting a lot of opportunities. I'm not gonna say I was touring, but I was getting a lot of stages. I was being put on a lot. So it's like, okay, I'm doing well, this is my thing, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna double down. And I've already discovered it. So as soon as I started doing it, I was like, yep, this is where I'm at. And now you're in Canada, where it's a place where it can happen. You can have a career, the States is just down the line, you can go. You can actually pursue this full time. And that's what kind of I did. But then I just like, okay, let me get caught up in what the scene is about and just start doing what it takes to do to get to the next level. That's kind of what I did, and I just spent a lot of time, hours learning the trade and how it works and all that stuff. For the next couple of years after the first 3-4 years. And it just became a thing where I just did it till it killed me.
So in general, what I'm saying is there's a lot of double standards with the English language, however much we know it. You know what I mean? Think about the alphabet. The letter G in the alphabet is called G, but when you use it in a word, it's a voiced K. It's like K, right? Yeah, kids of today, when they want to be cool, they say, I'm a gangster. But when they want to be even cooler, they say, I'm a G. I'm like, no, it's not a G, it's a G, because it's a G you're using there, idiot. G-unit. Think about the word garbage. The word garbage has 2 G's in it. Double standards right there. The first G, they use it as a G. The second G, they use it as a J. I say, what the hell, Oxford? Make up your mind. Huh? Call it garbage or jabage.
Turns out that, I should not have been self-employed while I was on a work permit, on the other hand. On the other hand, I applied for one of those documents, and they kind of just said no. It's one of those things, like I applied for a permanent residency. I checked all the boxes, but they just kind of said, no, we don't like it. So I was like, let me go home and figure it out. Then I'll come back and then, whatever, the whole plan. So I get my documents after the refusal came. I was just like, all right, I've applied everything I could apply to fix this status. I can't. So I filled out another form for I'm leaving this place. And then I came saying, I'll go back. Let me apply from here and go back. And somehow I didn't. I just got caught up with everything that was happening back here, and I tried my, and that's where we are, man. A lot of comedians I know, not just me alone, they do very poorly when they are in happy relationships. I think so. That's why my career is struggling. It was a bit tough, the adjustment, because everybody has moved. Like, you're starting from scratch. Like, when guys graduated, they kind of got their lives together. So all the people that would be your peers are steps ahead. So there's some pressure there. But then what was fortunate for me was I had an idea of what I was gonna do. Because one of the things that I even encountered when I was in Canada was being an entrepreneur was difficult, because it's a tough market to be in, because there's a lot of big boys, so to speak. And that includes everything. So the opportunities are limited in a sense. But when you come here, the opportunities are endless. Like, I didn't have to worry about taking on the biggest comedy outfit in the country, because I can do something completely different and it won't affect anything, won't affect his gigs, won't affect mine. I was always a creative entrepreneur. So when I come back, it's just like picking up from where I left. Even though in reality, it's not picking. I've grown in leaps and bounds. I've even discovered a new discipline, right? Like, doing stand-up is a new discipline. It's leaps and bounds. But it even then took a while, because I tried doing other things, right? I did farming, I did construction, I tried even wallowing in self-pity for a few weeks. Like, I did everything, right? But then it's just one of those things. Like, as soon as something was picking up, our construction company really picked up. We were doing well. We were, making money, enough money, but something was missing. I know that sounds cliche, but that's the truth. That's what happened. Something was missing. And I was just like, I gotta get back on stage. And I started getting back on stage, and immediately it was like, yep, reconnect. Within 6 months of getting back on stage, I was like, that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm done with whatever I'm doing.
I have a good relationship with my dad. It's weird, but it's not like the new kids' relationship with their dads. No. I don't even call him dad. That's a white thing. Just have a good African relationship with my dad. You know what I mean? Like, I just talk next to him. Then he knows I'm talking to him, There's no address like that. No, you just stand there and you just start talking. You're like, naona kutanyesha leo.
I don't know what unconsciously shaped me to be able to pretend that this is by design, right? Like, I don't know what the design was, but I definitely know my childhood was quite good. I know it was good because it was boring. Like, there's nothing to make fun. Okay, it was good. But that's how you know something is good, right? Because it's boring. You don't have any real worries. There's no highs and there's no lows. It's very stable. One of the things with the idea of a collective, which is also, it's a social enterprise for starters. And what it means for us, the core of it, the spirit of it, what holds us together is not the profits, it's not it's the comedy, the art form itself. That's what holds us together. There's many aspirations by all these different individuals. Some of them align, some don't, and they are all different. What's important for us to exist is, how can the collective be a part of that journey for everyone by allowing that individuality, free expression. For example, we as much as possible, we do not censor. We also do not curate the voice. We don't say this.
Justine, you don't have a father figure, but you do have your father's figure.
But we work together to get the funny. It's a community, really. It's like having a dam, a huge reservoir for all these individuals to draw from. all these careers, these personalities to draw from. So I think that's the biggest thing that I find is helpful for us is as an enterprise, you need to exist as an ecosystem, which means also providing certain things that are, good for ecosystem. The comedy is really grown in Kenya. I think the comedy from, was it Kipanga? From the 50s, it's a name. One of those legends, there were big TV stars in the 70s, 50s, 60s, 70s, whose job was to propaganda, really, like they were to shape behaviors. When I really came to was around the Vitimbi, Vioja, Mahakamani times. Those were some of the funniest, legendary comedy of our times. Kinyonga, the Shikwekwe, Baba Zero. The first day I heard Baba Zero, how did you put together two words that do not belong? It just blew my mind as a kid, But that was the beauty of comedy now. And then we come to Churchill. Now Churchill it's still characters, but they're wearing suits on stage, It's Professor Amo choosing to wear it's so crazy to me to even talk about these people that I know personally, and then what they have done, how monumental what they did was, it's that now. Those guys doing, it's like almost sketch, but stand-up. Like it's a blend of sketch and stand-up, because that's what the audience knows, and the characters the audience knows, and then stand-up is the new thing. Like just one man, microphone, doing your thing. Because the other guys were all troops most of the time, troops or duets or whatever it's called. And then now we come to stand-up. And I feel like where we've come in is we jumped in as now we're doing stand-up independent of the sketch element. You don't have to have a character to be funny. That's where we are. And we don't know. The bigger comedians are not yet to come. I think they're coming. They're in high school probably right now. As Ty likes to say it. But that's the idea. So we're on a timeline, we're on a continuum. And a lot of the guys also who are in that old dispensation are also reinventing and coming back better. People who are in the tail end, like Kinamamito, they were in the tail end of that, but they've jumped onto the next phase. And then there are guys who are there too, they'll come back. I know they'll come, because the beauty of comedy is the guys will come back. Like it never dies, especially if you figure it out. So if we do the market well, those guys will come back bigger and better, I think. A lot of the guys, the personalities who are there, but we'll be there for it. Do I want to live long? Actually, I do. When I think about it, I want to live long and good too. Quality and long. I want to live happy long, not just long and miserable. Just one day at a time, man.